Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First on the local scene. Contestant number 4, Arena Foy, sponsored by Massey Stores Limited, in this year's Miss SVG pageant, has won the crown. The pageant took place on October 7th, 2023 at Victoria Park and carried six judged categories. Arena also won the category Best Talent in the competition. The first runner-up is Roisha Telemak, Miss in Transit Exports, who won the Best Evening Wear, Best in Evening Wear, and the ECGC's People's Choice Award. Second runner-up is Diana Fairbairn, sponsored by Play 4. For the first time in the pageant's history, the Best Interview category has two winners, Trina Hooper and Tara Richardson. Trina Hooper also won Miss Photogenic, while Tara Richardson took the title for Miss Congeniality and is the first runner-up for the Geku Community Project. Semisha Millington, sponsored by Correz, won the Best Cultural Wear, Miss Community Spirit, and placed second for the Geku Community Project. Letitia Barber, sponsored by Grenadine House, won the category for Best Swimwear and is the winner of the Geku Community Project. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, has advised coastal residents, sea bathers, and fishermen to avoid the sea for 3 days due to life-threatening surf and rip currents on St. Vincent and the Grenadines from early Monday morning to Wednesday. Fishermen are encouraged to secure boats, engines, and gears. Coastal residents are also asked to take precautions to save lives and livelihoods. According to NEMO, residents in Fancy, Owia, Sandy Bay, Langley Park, Georgetown, Grand Sable, Montyoung, Byra, Goss, Connery, Montgrenan, Sanssouci, Bayabu, Raraku, Saltpan, as well as Kaliakwa, Villa, Annas Vale, Cyan Hill Bay, Rose Place, Otley Hall, Lomans Bay, Kittels, Clare Valley, Bocament, Leyu, Barrowley, Cumberland, Rosebank, Pittibodel, Chateaubelair, Fitzhughes, Richmond, Union Island, Beckway, and Canawan are asked to avoid the sea and remain especially careful during this time. The National Emergency Management, NEMO, will provide the relevant updates from the SVG's Met Office. Still on the local scene, while the live hunting season for 2023 has been proclaimed open in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The hunting season began on October 1st and will end on December 31st, 2023. The Ministry of Forestry has provided a list of animals that can be hunted during this season. Manikou, iguana, pink rhino iguana, agouti, armadillo, and pigeons with scaly napping. The ministry is reminding hunters of the following rules. Manikou must weigh at least 1 pound. The pink rhino iguana is a rare and endangered species, and hunters are asked not to overhunt this species. Iguanas must be 14 inches long from snout to vent, and persons are reminded if hunting occurs outside of the open hunting season, this is punishable by a fine of $2,000 or 6 months in prison. On the regional scene, Jamaica's National Irrigation Commission, NIC, has allocated a $35 million system last week to help over 300 farmers in Trelawney who are operating on over 5,000 acres of land. This is a short-term measure by the NIC to provide water to offset the impact of dry spells brought on by climate change on the farmers operating on lands that have been transformed from sugarcane cultivation. The system includes a rehabilitated well and the construction of a ramp and a water truck. The Minister of Agriculture in Jamaica, Floyd Green, noted that plans were advanced for the build-out of a modern irrigation system to serve the area during an official commissioning ceremony in Clarkstown on Thursday. He said, "This is our short-term intervention to ensure that we can respond to you quickly when the drought comes in." The government of Antigua and Barbuda has said it intends to fight plans by Caribbean Airlines, CAL, to expand its operation in the Eastern Caribbean and at the expense of the regional airline Liat 2020. This information, according to the government statement, was disclosed by a Trinidad and Tobago parliamentarian during a parliament session. The government statement said the statement about Caribbean Airlines expansion came from a Trinidad and Tobago parliamentarian who spoke in their parliament recently. It is evident the cabinet concluded that reviving Liat is not an objective of Trinidad, whose leaders are determined to capture the aviation services that Antigua and Barbuda once exported. According to reports, Minister of Finance to Trinidad and Tobago, Com Imbert, on Monday, while delivering the country's budget, told legislators that the Caribbean region has been exhibiting strong air transport demand and international visitors are on the rise. The finance minister said, as markets progressively recover, Caribbean Airlines aims to utilize its assets effectively and establish a foundation for network growth. The airline thus intends to expand its fleet to meet this growing demand, through the lease of 4 additional ATRs and 3 additional B737 to 8, bringing the fleet size to a pre-pandemic level. But speaking at a news conference in Antigua and Barbuda, Chief of Staff in the Office of the Prime Minister, Lionel Hurst, told reporters that while plans are for Liat 2020 to become fully operational by Christmas this year, St. John is not going to lie down and allow the expansion of CAL in the region. Finally, on the international scene, as Israel responds to the Hamas attacks, authorities have said that the Gaza Strip is on the brink of a new humanitarian crisis if supplies are not allowed in. Israel declared on Monday a complete siege on the territory, stating that electricity, food, fuel, and water could be cut off. More than 500 people have died in attacks from Israeli airstrikes, leaving streets covered with rubble from collapsed buildings. Gaza is home to about 2.3 million people in total, 80% of who rely on humanitarian aid mainly due to the ongoing hostilities with Israel. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.